What's good, everybody? It's Lucky. New view. First and foremost, I hope y'all been taking care of yourselves. You feel me? I know I have. I know I've been grinding. I know I've been staying disciplined. But yeah, I just want to give a little bit of an update part two and let y'all know how I'm going to be moving forward. As y'all may know, or if y'all don't know, I'm currently back in college. Very successful summer, if I do say so myself. Um, I set out to achieve a lot of goals, a lot of big, hairy, audacious goals, a lot of things that a regular 19 to 20-year-old can't accomplish, a lot of things that most 30, 40, 50-year-olds don't even accomplish. And I was able to achieve them. And me even looking at this view, can't even lie, it's surreal. It's surreal. Damn, hey, we leveling up, but I give all glory to God. You feel me? But let me get into it. I want to talk about what I've been up to for the last couple of weeks, because I'm back here in college. For the last 90 to 100 days back in Houston, I've been really disciplined. I've been, relentless at becoming a version of myself who has achieved my goals, and that involves going after a lot of wisdom. That involves a lot of research. That involves a lot of just being a go-getter. And I was able to triple my income. Matter of fact, I was able to 5x my income within 100 days, and I did my most profitable month in July, which is surreal. So shout out to Elon Musk and shout out to Mark Zuckerberg, because they're the reason why I live here. They're the reason why I can afford to put 8 months of rent into a fuck you account and be straight. You know what I'm saying? But this summer was interesting because I was grinding relentlessly. I was networking relentlessly. I was studying relentlessly. Everything about me was relentless. Everything about me is relentless. And I don't know, it just felt good to be surrounded with my winner's diet. It felt phenomenal to be an embodiment of the person that I was portraying. It felt phenomenal to be an actor. It felt phenomenal to describe the version of Lucky I aspired to be in the beginning of the summer and be and act like that version of Lucky the entire summer. Shit, I don't know. I won't even lie to you. I'm not content. I don't know if that's something that I should be working on, but even after achieving most of my goals this summer, I don't know. It just felt shoulder shrug, you feel me? Like, I still got some crazy goals that I want to achieve. And even me being here right now, don't get me wrong, I'm grateful and I'm extremely excited for what's to come, but I'm not where I want to be at yet. And that's kind of what I want to talk about for this video. I want to talk about refocusing. Now, a lot of individuals, I'm speaking directly towards college students, or I'm not speaking to nobody. I'm speaking towards myself. A lot of individuals, they have changed their environments. You know, they're now in a new environment. They're not in college, and a lot of the shit that you were doing in the summer, a lot of the shit that I was doing in the summer, a lot of the routines that I created in the summer, I was erased. Not necessarily. Routines erased, but habits are still going to be the same. So routines in the sense of, waking up at 4:45 a.m. From that time to 5:30 a.m., I am listening to my devotion. I am cleaning my room, doing my personal hygiene, and I'm writing my goals down. Then I'm going out to go work out with some millionaires. Right now, I'm in my own apartment, so it's a little bit different. I got to work out with myself and work out with future millionaires. So it's like I don't really trip on that, but that's a little different. Even the place where I work out at is different. I have to really adapt and modify a lot of the shit that I was doing in Houston because of a lack of equipment. But I'm still excited nonetheless. But back to refocusing. A lot of people come to a new environment, and a lot of successful people, they come to a new environment and they use that as an excuse to get swayed away, to get distracted. A lot of people achieve a remarkable amount of success, and ultimately, after switching where they're at, they start to do stuff that they didn't usually do. They start to pick up habits that didn't get them to the certain point in life. And honestly, that's a recipe for disaster. Because if you think about it, your output is a direct correlation with your input. So if you were doing all of these high frequency things to get to the level that you're at right now, what makes you think that you will stay at that level or even surpass that level if you start doing shit that doesn't correlate with high frequency behavior? So that's a paradox that a lot of people are facing, including myself, and me being out here by myself and being solo dolo, it means the discipline has to be even realer. The shit that I was able to do in Houston, that's not gonna be enough. Me making 10K a month in July is not the habits that I had and the mentality that I had when I made my first 10K is not gonna be the same mentality I'm gonna have when I make my first 100K. So I ain't gonna lie to you, y'all niggas, myself included, got to refocus, got to create that routine as soon as possible. So I'm waiting for classes to start next week. After next week, I will have a consistent routine, a consistent schedule, and I'll be disrespectful. I wouldn't look at myself in the mirror right if I was to go ahead and sacrifice the routine, the discipline, the consistency that I built over the summer for some bullshit. And what do I mean by bullshit? Women, drugs. Women, drugs. Women, drugs, and people who are not on the same path as me. I'm not interested in that, to be honest, to be frank. You know what I'm saying? And I challenge whoever is listening to this to also adapt a similar mentality, because those two things can really derail you. Like, I know it is statistically impossible for me to not become a millionaire. It is statistically impossible for me to not become a millionaire. So I'd be doing myself a disservice if I start hanging with people who don't have that mentality. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that I cannot have friends. I got a couple of friends, you feel me? Got a couple of female friends, I got a couple of guy friends. But I'm saying the main thing got to be the main thing. Meaning, work hard, play hard. You know what I'm saying? This summer, I ain't really associated with too much people. I was really focused and I was locked in on my goals. So now that I'm back here in college, I got some new goals. I achieved most of my goals during the summer, but now that I'm here in college, I got new goals that I have to achieve. Meaning, if I got to sacrifice talking to some people and going to functions and hanging out with the gang to go ahead and achieve some shit that's going to pay off in the long run, then what the hell am I going to do? I'm going to do it without a doubt. And if you say I'm cold, then shit, so be it. I'm a cold motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? But definitely refocus is important. You know, just because you are in a new environment, just because you are surrounded with new individuals, just because you don't have the adversity of, fear driving you anymore, it shouldn't mean that everything that you built basically gets destroyed. And that's what a lot of people deal with. A lot of people, they go up, they take 3 steps forward, then they take 5 steps back. My life is going to continuously be like a stock. I'm going to go up, go down, but I'm going to go up. I'm going to go down, I'm going to go up. I'm going to continue to go up. And honestly, it's up to me, it's up to you, it's up to whoever the hell you are to be as disciplined as possible so you can make that shit happen. Now, let's talk about some struggles that I've been facing, because I'm not perfect, but I'm working on becoming the best version of myself at the end of the day. Now, let's talk about waking up early. Back in Houston, I woke up every day at 4:45 a.m. religiously. Sometimes I even woke up at 3:45 a.m., depending on how far my workout was going to be at, or the distance and the location of my workout. And honestly, I love waking up early in the morning. But being back here in college, it kind of fucks with my mental when, I don't know, it's different because my layout of my room in my apartment is completely different than my layout in my home. So a couple of the things, the environment that I had, how the hell do I say this? It's just different because, let's just use my phone for example. I'll put my phone as far away from me as possible, so when the alarm rings, I have to get up so I can turn that bitch off. But in my apartment, I have let me not say I have nowhere. I haven't been putting it as far away as possible. Shit, sometimes I even sleep with my phone on my bed. Meaning, as soon as I wake up, all I gotta do is press a button, and it doesn't drive me to go out and, you know what I'm saying, do what I gotta do ahead of time. It causes me to waste time. It causes me to sleep for an extra 10, 15 minutes. And honestly, that's unacceptable. You feel me? That's unacceptable. That's me going backwards. That's me wasting unnecessary time. So, we're gonna be proactive. Tonight, I'm gonna put my phone in the restroom and I'm gonna keep my door open. So when I go to sleep, I'm gonna wake up by my alarm, and the only way to turn off that God-forsaken iPhone sound is for me to go ahead and walk to my restroom and turn that bitch off. Then I can start my day. Then I can listen to my devotion. Then I can do my personal hygiene, etc., etc. So that's one thing that I've been dealing with. This is not something that I've been dealing with per se, but it is something that I've been, encountering, which is hanging out with people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be as brutally honest as possible. I'm a solo dolo type of guy, but I do believe collaboration over competition is important. So when I came back to college, did a little, you know what I'm saying? I mass texted a bunch of people, had an 85 to 90% success rate. The 10% won't hit me back. It is what it is. You feel me? But I hit up the people that I mess with enough to give them my phone number. And I basically said, hey, hit me up whenever you back in town. Let's have lunch or let's meet up and let's chop it up or reconnect. I did that with quite a few people. So that's been interesting because honestly, most of the people that I've been chopping it up with, I asked them questions like, are you the same person from 90 days ago? And they brutally tell me not much has changed. They brutally tell me that, you know, nothing happened in their summer. They tell me shit like, I hate trains, bro. They tell me stuff like, other than work and study, they didn't do nothing. And honestly, that's detrimental to my ears, bro. I'm not trying to hear that. I ain't saying lie to me, but I'm not trying to hear that. And that just makes me, it makes me want to go ahead and surround myself with some winners. Because I'm not trying to hear that you ain't do shit with your summer. You feel me? I'm trying to hear that this was a transformative summer. Or I'm trying to hear that you learned a lot this summer. You feel me? So that's just something that I've been pondering about. And I ask probing questions for a reason. You feel me? If we link up with one another, we're not just gonna talk about nothing. I feel like I'd be doing a disservice to myself, to my intellectual spirit. So when I ask questions like that, I'm really just curious to see what your answer is. I'm really just curious to see. I ask questions like, what do you do on your free time when you're not studying, when you're not at work? And the answers that I get, they're shocking. And then it reaffirms to me that how I think, how I act, how I view the world, my discipline, my maturity is very uncommon. It's very abnormal, especially for somebody my age. So, Lucky, what are you going to do about that problem? I appreciate you for asking because I'm very solution oriented. What I am going to do is surround myself with older people or winners, people who are further along in their journey than a regular Joe. I did that this summer. I hang with millionaires. I hang with millionaires. I hang with people who invested or traded $150,000 casually and made $300,000 casually. I hang with people who had $30 million in their network, $30 million of assets. I hang with those type of people. So now that I'm back in college, why wouldn't I hang with people who are on that same frequency? It's all about who you surround yourself with. It's all about who you surround yourself with. And my biggest fear is becoming a product of a negative environment, which is why I speak so much positivity, which is why I'm so adamant about being consistent with my winter's diet. So those are a couple of things that I've been pondering about. Other than that, have I really been challenged or been thinking about anything? Not really. I mean, at the end of the day, I moved to a new apartment. You know, it's my first time being solo alone in an apartment, so obviously some of the things that I'm feeling is just natural. But I'm gonna make it through. I'm gonna make it through. I give glory to God. I got certain things that I gotta do. Like I got some new goals that I gotta set. You feel me? Some big, hairy, audacious goals. I feel like I gotta go big or go home. To be honest, I gotta go big or go home. But that's just something that I've been pondering on. I just wanted to give y'all some energy. I truly believe that y'all can be successful. I truly believe that, you can take control of your life. It's just, what do you want to do? And are you willing to put in that level of work, that level of discipline, that level of consistency? Are you just willing to be a talker? I'm not interested in being a talker. I'm interested in pulling up in my V12 engine and complaining that I have to squat to get in that bitch. That's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in having to manage my real estate properties. I'm interested in being a leader of a multi-million dollar company. I'm interested in becoming the best version of myself. And if that means that I have to sacrifice certain things in order to achieve that, then I'll do that within a heartbeat. Truly, within a heartbeat. I gotta do what I gotta do. Morally and ethically, of course, but I gotta do what I gotta do. And if you adapt that same mentality, not even the sky is the limit. Not even the sky is the limit. Like honestly, if I were to hop on a jetpack right now, I wouldn't have anything stopping me. I wouldn't have anything limiting me because who can stop me? Nobody can stop me but me. Nobody can stop me but me. So I challenge everybody who's listening to this. I challenge everybody who's listening to this to go ahead and ask yourself, what does focus look like to you? And before you can ask yourself that, you got to ask yourself, what are my goals? Because if you don't have any goals, then where the hell are you going? What are you working towards? What are you going to reverse engineer? You're playing the game backwards. I know the game and you don't. That's why I'm going to win. But if you want to win, you got to find out the rules of the game. So that's what I challenge you to do. It's lucky. I see you at the top because the bottom is too crowded. I see you at the top because the bottom is too crowded. And don't ever look down on anybody unless you're willing to give them a hand to help them up. It's lucky, and I'm out.